Okay, hi guys, and welcome to the show. Today, a slight departure from my usual horological content. I'm actually going to be discussing my top 10 tips on running a YouTube channel. Believe it or not, this is one of the most frequently asked questions I get. And I thought I'd put together my kind of top 10 tips, bits of advice, things I've learned over the 2 years of being on YouTube. Now, my channel is very niche. It's a niche subject, watches. And by no means is it a large channel. It's still absolutely minute in the whole cosmos or universe, YouTube universe. However, if you are starting your own channel or you have a channel, you may find some of this information useful. So I really thought I'd put this together today for you. Now, of course, before I get into it, I've got to do customary wristwatch check. I am indeed wearing the Seiko Saab 033 on a genuine emerald green genuine crocodile strap. Really works with the black dial, this kind of regal green, very luxurious. I've reviewed both the watch and the strap, so have a look back in the archives. Now, I haven't worn this watch for a while because my wife tends to borrow it a hell of a lot. But it's nice that I get it back in rotation. Anyway, wristwatch check done. Let's roll the intro and get into today's video. Okay, so we'll start at number 10. And as we move down closer to number 1, so does the level of importance increase, I think. So I've left the most important to the top 5, top 3. However, this is all pretty important. Number 10, and this is fairly obvious, but whatever the subject of your channel is, the passion for it, the love for it, has got to be greater than any adversity you may encounter. And this has got to do with the motivation. If your motivation is fame or money or anything like that, you really should reconsider, because it's not going to last. You've got to love the subject to such an extent that it's going to carry you and you're never going to be sick of it, and you're going to be able to brush off all the problems that arise, because it's not going to be all easy. It's not all, you know, it's not, this is by no means an easy thing to do, running YouTube. It's a lot more difficult than people realize. So whatever the subject is, make sure that you love it completely. I'm absolutely obsessed with watches, and it's a love that kind of is rekindled every single day. I learn new things, because at the end of the day, if you're talking about, I don't know, if you're talking about sneakers, and you know, 2 years down the line you start to get tired of it, you've got to make sure that the love is there, that it will carry you and you're not going to get bored of it. Okay, number 9, and again, this is very, very obvious, but I cannot make this list without including it. You have to have a thick skin. You have to be resilient. You have to be able to brush off negativity and criticism easily. You have to not let it affect you, or you are susceptible or overly emotional, or you just get easily offended. This is not for you. Okay, this is not for you. If you're looking for friendship and love, get a dog. Okay, don't do YouTube. Okay, number 8, and this is consistency. Now, this doesn't just apply to YouTube. It applies to every facet of life. No matter what you do in life, you've got to be consistent to be successful. You've got to be able to work hard, apply yourself, and commit. The key word here is commit. I'm very, very fortunate. I'm self-employed. I've always been fiercely independent. I'm able to commit or manage my time because, you know, making videos is very, very difficult. Sometimes even a 10-minute video can take 8 hours to shoot. There could be several days of shooting, of editing, of preparing, of researching that goes into a very short video. I think people tend to forget how much hard work making anything, anything creative is. Okay, number 7 is to embrace your failures. Understand that there is no such thing as perfection in any creative process, whether you're writing. I used to work in music production, and actually that's a really good example. I used to almost go crazy when mixing a track. I'd always hear things that I would like to improve. You've got to embrace mistakes, embrace failure. The important thing is to be able to get up again and do it again. And that also goes into commitment and consistency. Always look at it in a positive light. What can you learn from things and to improve from it? There's always something to be learned. Just because, you made a tiny mistake in a video or your content doesn't mean it's an entire failure. You can mistakenly think it's all been a waste of time. However, always focus on what you did get right. Oh, you did get the lighting right, or you did get the sound right, or you did get that shot right, or you did, the failure or the mistakes is always just a tiny part of it. And there's always going to be mistakes. Nothing is ever perfect. So the sooner you embrace that and you're able not to be affected by it, you're kind of liberated and you just keep going forward. Okay, number 6, and this is to have an autodidactic, self-reliant kind of regime. You must always be learning, always be improving, focus and find your weakest skills and develop them. Mine, for example, has always been the skill of oratory. I've never actually been good at speaking in public or to a camera. So it's something that I've practiced again and again and again. And you're only going to learn by doing it yourself. And this applies to all aspects of making a YouTube video. For example, I knew nothing about filming or cameras well, obviously I come from a sound background, so that was absolutely fine. Ironically, my first few videos, the sound was terrible, but I think I was so fed up of doing it professionally. The idea of setting up a lavalier mic or whatever just horrified me. I have improved microphones now, and I have a better camera, and I've got lighting, and we have the internet now. We have all the information you could ever want at our fingertips. Always be learning, always be self-improving, and most importantly, accept the fact that you don't know everything. Nobody knows everything. We're all constantly learning. I think there has to be a humbleness. There has to be a kind of a respect for learning there. Okay, so that was number 6. Number 5, and that is to never chase the ratings. I think people can really tell when you do things, just to be kind of clickbait. I think it compromises the quality of the videos. Some of the videos I'm the most proud of are the least successful, but I enjoyed making it and people really enjoyed that. And you can tell it comes over in the video. It's a very difficult thing to balance because there is pressure to perform, especially if you're doing YouTube full time, and that is why I don't recommend it until you have at least 500,000, 1 million subscribers. And I think in the long run you build a more solid channel, and also you maintain your independence. Okay, so that was number 5. Number 4, dislikes are good for business. Now, what do I mean by dislikes are good for business? There are multiple videos on YouTube about this. This is a big myth surrounding likes and dislikes. Let me give you an example. You have 2 identical videos. You upload both of them. One has 100 likes and 0 dislikes. The other has 100 likes and, 20, 50 dislikes. The one with the dislikes is going to appear higher up in search results. Those dislikes are regarded as audience engagement by YouTube. We're not talking about views, we're talking about viewer interaction. So the sooner you disregard dislikes, it doesn't actually disliking a video helps promote it. I know it sounds bizarre, so you must never take dislikes personally. A really great example of this is my most successful video of all time on YouTube. It's actually my most disliked video as well. So there you go, there's the proof. I think, what was it about? Yeah, it was about why somebody should not buy a fake or replica watch. Okay, so that was number 4. Number 3, always treat people with respect. No matter how much they insult you, no matter how much they try and provoke you, never lower yourself to their level. Always treat others as you'd like to be treated yourself. I know, very, very basic, but trust me, it will pay off in the end. Always stay respectful, even to those people who insult you. You know, rise above it. It's the best way, and for me personally, it really has paid off with my channel. It's a thing of basic human respect. Whenever anybody doesn't show respect or doesn't deserve it, then just don't interact with them. Okay, so that was number 3. Number 2, and this is a crucial point, and that is to always be truthful, open, and honest. I made a conscious decision. Well, it's not a conscious decision. I made a common sense decision from the very start to be as truthful and as open as I can. Not just when it comes to business, because business will become a part of it, but also just in the way you talk and talk about yourself, portray yourself. Always be yourself. Never try to be anything that you're not, because it's just gonna come back to haunt you later. And when it comes to business, this is also very, very important. When talking about products in videos, if it's been sponsored, you have to say in the video. I also try and pick products that I believe in, that I truthfully would wear or consider buying, or I would recommend. Now, this all goes back to the type of person you are. Now, my channel is very, very small in the scheme of things. However, if you grow to a position where you have a ton of influence, you know, millions of subscribers, people are looking to you. So always tell the truth, always be open and honest. You know, even if it hurts. I've made videos where I publicly apologize because I said something that I wasn't happy with. You know, you've got to man up. If you make a mistake, you've got to man up and admit to it. My worst nightmare is ever to offend anybody. It doesn't matter if it's the long, hard road. You take it. You stay on it. You know, you stick with your principles. Okay, so that was number 2. What is my number 1? Now this is really crucial. This, to me, is the most important bit of advice I can give to anybody considering or that has a channel, and that is to get legal help, get legal representation. Now, I have been blessed by the horological gods. A fan, a supporter of the channel, is actually a YouTube attorney. I never knew this existed, but they do. In this wonderful new online world, they do. Leo, if you're watching, my friend, he's an SKX, Seiko SKX guy, and he came across my channel through the watches. He emailed me and he offered his services. He has a fantastic channel with really straightforward, easy to understand advice. I cannot recommend it enough. I'll add a link up there, and also I'll put it in my channel favorites. So check out his channel. It's called Web20 Lawyer. Now, he specializes in everything YouTube related. If you want to understand YouTube laws and rules, trademarking your brand, laws on filming in public, negotiating agreements, deals, protecting your brand, privacy rights, or even if you're being harassed, it's the most invaluable resource on YouTube. It's really reassuring to know that you have legal counsel available there, especially if you're dealing with, for example, I got offered a deal. The legal jargon, I have no experience in that kind of thing. How do you understand that? You need somebody experienced to make sure you're not going to get ripped off, and that's going to protect your rights, that's going to understand what you're trying to do. I would only recommend his services if I believed in it, and he's very, very capable. He has access to a lot of resources. Guys, if you're serious about YouTube, or you got a channel and you need to protect it, or you got questions, or you need legal advice, honestly, I cannot recommend Web20 Lawyer enough. Check out his channel, and Leo, if you're watching this, I hope you're well, my friend. So that really is my top 10 bits of advice. Now, of course, I barely scratched the surface. There's a ton of other things I could have gone into. It can be an intimidating place, but you are not alone. You are not alone. It's a wonderfully rewarding thing to do. I've learned new things about myself that I never knew I had, skills that I've developed that are just going to pay off in dividends you know, for many, many years, not just on YouTube, but I'm talking about in life. Okay guys, so I'm gonna leave it there. Now, of course, if you run a YouTube channel and you have any advice, things you think people should know, please do share it down in the comments. I'd love to hear your feedback. Let's try and help as many people as you can. Now, before I go, I would like to leave you with a quote from Marcus Aurelius. By the way, if you haven't read Meditations, his iconic book, Meditations, check it out. It is unbelievable. It can help you out no matter what you're doing in life. So Marcus Aurelius said, if you work at that which is before you, following right reason, seriously, vigorously, calmly, without allowing anything else to distract you, but keeping your divine part pure, as if you are bound to give it back immediately. If you hold to this, expecting nothing, but satisfied to live now according to nature, speaking heroic truth in every word that you utter, you will live happy, and there is no man to prevent this. Okay guys, so I think that's a perfect note to end this video on. Thank you very, very much for watching. Please don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it and found it useful. And as always guys, I will catch you in the next one. Okay, ciao.